Dash, the Buccos are winning so many games in a row. I don't know if they're going to have enough Jolly Rogers left to raise them all by the end of the year.
Jolly Ranchers.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of The Spread. I'm your host, Jim Sella, in studio with co-host Jay Dash. Going to talk some more Bucco baseball, specifically Charlie Morton today. Morton, I always say he's garbage. I like to rip on him. He's been pretty inconsistent throughout most of his career. He'll have a good year and then a terrible year. But I got to give it to him. He's 5-0 through his first 5 starts since coming off the DL. He's helped the Buccos get to a 38-27 record. That's second in the NL Central. Only 5 back of the St. Louis Cardinals. And they're 20-5 in their last 25 games. So they'd be only 15-5 if it wasn't for Morton.
Please believe, well, they'd have played those 5 games somehow, though.
Yeah, they wouldn't have counted. If Jeff Locke plays, it doesn't count.
But they're on a 7-game win streak right now, tied for first in the NL Central with 267 runs. They've let up the second least runs in the MLB with 207. So this pitching staff is doing great. The Cardinals are sitting at 186 in first, and their plus 60 run differential is second in the NL. Only behind the Cardinals, who are plus 68 right now. But Charlie Morton, he has been dominating this season. Through 5 starts, he's 5-0, a 1.62 ERA, an 0.99 whip. Through 33.1 innings pitched, he's only allowed 25 hits, 6 earned runs, just 1 jack, 8 walks, and 15 Ks. Opponents hitting just 207 off of him. Now, every single one of those numbers are elite except the strikeout rate. And we know he's not a strikeout pitcher. And
that's why his name's Ground Ball Chuck.
Please believe. He's pitched 7 innings or more in 4 of his 5 starts. He's allowed no more than 3 earned runs or 3 walks in any start. He's allowed no home runs over his last 4 starts, spanning 26.1 innings. Just 2 earned runs in 21-point innings at home this season, which is excellent. And even 4 earned runs in 12 innings on the road isn't that bad either. So he's been doing it both home and away. And like you said, ground ball Chuck, 73 ground balls compared to 33 fly balls. So he's doing everything that we expect him to do and more so far this season.
I expected him to lose, so he's not doing everything I expected him to do.
Well, he's always been a decent pitcher, man. We'll talk about that in a second, but for right now, let's talk about his worst start. It was his 3rd start of the season at Atlanta. It was on June 5th. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, just 1 K. He only pitched 82 pitches. They weren't pitching him 100 pitches quite yet at that point. It was only his 3rd start, like I said. But they won this game 10-8, and that's the worst he's done. He was a little bit too hittable in this game, 7 hits in 5 innings and a 3 walks. So he allowed 2 base runners per inning on average, which isn't great. But still, out of your 4th starter, I'll take 3 earned runs in 5 innings every once in a while. But then after that start, he's been dominating. Last 2 starts versus Milwaukee and the Chicago White Sox, he went 14.1 innings combined in those 2 games, allowed just 7 hits, 0 earned runs, 4 walks, 9 Ks. He went 102 pitches versus Milwaukee and 94 versus the White Sox. So he's dominating right now, man.
I don't know. Give it another 5 starts and it'll be 5-5 with a 10.52 ERA.
I don't think he'll do that bad. I do think he's going to show some decline. He's not this good of a pitcher. I mean, right now he's doing what A.J. Burnett did to start the season, and maybe even better outside of the strikeout rate. But if you look, yeah, we know Charlie Morton isn't this type of pitcher. He's only had 20 or more starts just twice in his career because of all the injuries, yes. In 2011, he had 29 starts, and then last season he had 26 starts. But if you look, in 2013, he had his career-high ERA, which was a 3.26, and this is the year that the Pirates really turned it around as a team, the year they broke the below 500, through 21 seasons or something?
8 million years.
Yeah, he made 20 starts in that season, and then last season he had a 3.72 ERA through 26 starts. So, since the Pirates have turned it around, he's actually turned it around a little bit, and maybe he just didn't want to pitch on a losing team.
Maybe he just has better players behind him that bail him out whenever he blows it.
Well, they do have a good defense behind him as well, so that does help.
when you're a ground ball pitcher and you put together a good defense, defensive infield, he's pitching with Mercer at shortstop, Walker at second. Before Alvarez was good with the glove, he just couldn't throw anywhere. He could still stop the ball. And let's face it, first base, Ike Davis.
He wasn't a terrible first baseman, but nothing special about him.
But that was good defense behind him, so that helps out.
But really, these numbers Morton has shown this season, I think they're a little bit too good, and you really can't truly believe he took his game to another level until he comes out of the All-Star break and does it maybe 1 or 2 times, maybe even 3 times, because at the All-Star break, sometimes things just happen where a guy's season goes down the drain.
He gets too drunk on the 4th of July, and then he falls and rolls his ankle or something at the barbecue and chokes on a hot dog, and then he's done.
But, it is possible that he's actually turned a corner in his career, man. He looks straight. I don't know if you sit there and watch these games. He looks straight dominant out there, man.
If Morton's on the mound, I'm digging a ditch out in the yard.
His first 2 outings, he was so efficient that he only threw 80-some pitches in each outing, and he still made it through 7 innings. And out of your number 4 starter, especially when your top 3 starters this season have been as good as they have been, this is a huge addition to this team without really making a move, and no one really seen this coming. I always believed he was a good number 4 starter. Over the past 2 seasons, a 3.26 ERA and a 3.72 ERA. I'll take that out of a number 4 any day. But he's taken it to another level so far this season. But like I said, I'm not going to believe it until I see it coming out of the All-Star break. It comes down to injury history with this guy, I believe. His ERA was 3.83 or better in 3 seasons where he had 20 or more starts. And then in the 4 seasons he didn't pitch in at least 20 games, his ERA was 4.55 or worse. So, to me...
So if he's got a boo-boo, he can't pitch.
Yeah, if he's injured and he's having health problems that season, he's not going to give you great production. But when he's healthy, he can be not even a good number 4, he can be a low-end, very low-end number 2 or a high-end number 3. And if you look, this even surprised me. I figured this number out last night. Since 2013, he's made 51 starts over, 2 seasons and the 5 starts this year. And his ERA, 3.32 in those 51 starts.
I don't know about that. Sounds a little fishy.
Well, I'll let you add it up, man. I'm telling you, I couldn't believe it either. But if you look, a 3.26, a 3.72, and a 1.62 this season, that sort of equals out to a 3.32 ERA, man. Unbelievable, huh? I'll take that any day of the week from your number 4.
I think you're fudging some numbers here. I don't know, fans.
Figure it out,
He's losing
fans.
his mind.
What you do is you take earned runs divided by innings multiplied by 9. And that's how you figure out an ERA.
That's too much math.
Everybody, figure it out. And then come bitch at Jim. But really, like I said, it all comes down to injury with him. He's pitched well over the past 2 seasons, but he's also missed 25 starts since the beginning of 2013. So he's not really a guy you can trust as in your rotation unless you have someone like a Vance Worley sitting as your 6th starter or a Clayton Richard you could call up, because let's face it, after the trade deadline you can't bring in anyone. Well, you can if you do that stupid waiver whatever, but it's harder to, and you're going to need someone in case he gets injured after the trade deadline.
Yeah, I don't know. Block Morton. I got no faith in him.
No faith. Right now he is dominating, man, and he's been good for 2.5 seasons. Well, not 2.5 seasons, a little over 2 seasons. You can't accept that.
Nope, got nothing.
Right now, though, Cole, Burnett, Liriano, they're all pitching like aces. Can you accept that?
Yeah, even though I think Liriano's arm's gonna fall off one of these days.
See, I know Pittsburgh fans, man, they believe in Burnett more than Liriano. I know you definitely do. But to me, I trust Liriano more than I trust Burnett. It's just this feeling I have when I watch the games. When Liriano's on the mound, I have full faith in this guy. I believe he is... his stuff is disgusting. He's so hard to hit. He doesn't even pitch in the strike zone very much, but people just swing at his pitches all the time, man. This guy is dominating.
The feeling you're referring to is called insanity.
You're dead wrong.
That's what it is. Liriano better than Burnett.
Liriano's been good for the past 3 seasons with the Pirates.
How many World Series does Liriano have? None.
Probably none.
How many does Burnett have?
Minnesota might have won one when he was there.
More than none.
More than none. I don't think that's the big issue here, though, man. Anyways, but yeah, like I was saying, Cole Burnett, Liriano pitching like aces. Morton is currently throwing like a number 1 starter, whether you like it or not. A 1.62 ERA and 5-0 through 5 starts. You got to deal with it. But it's too late for any all-star consideration for him. He's not going to be an all-star or anything like that. But as a 1, 2, 3, 4 in this rotation, you really can't get any better right now.
Except for when you go to 5 and you have Jeff. I locked my skills out because I'm garbage.
Well, listen, Jeff Locke has been good recently, man. It's hard to deny. Look, he's had acceptable to excellent starts in 5 of his last 6 outings, and really 7 of his last 9. In his 5 good starts over that 6-game stretch, though, he's allowed 9 earned runs in 30 innings pitched in those 5 starts, which is better than a 3 ERA. So, actually, in those 5 starts, he's been pitching excellent. Now, there was the poor start where he allowed 6 earned runs and 4 innings pitched. You're going to get those from your number 5 starter. But you can't complain about those other 5 starts. And if you look over his last 2 starts, he went 12 innings, allowed just 2 runs, 9 hits, 3 walks, and 10 Ks.
I'm not going to complain about what he's done so far this year, and I know you can't complain about stuff that hasn't happened yet, but Locke and Morton both have a history of collapsing down the stretch, and until I see that not happen, I got no faith in the guy.
I'm not gonna say I have no faith in him. I always like Locke as a back-end starter. Now, I also think he's a guy that shouldn't be in the rotation down towards the end of the season, and definitely shouldn't be pitching in the playoffs for you. But your number 5 starter isn't going to be pitching in the playoffs for you. And if you have a Vance Worley and a Clayton Richard and an Adrian Sampson, who are all options to move into this rotation should Locke struggle, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I like Locke at the back end still.
You love Locke.
I wouldn't go as far to say I love him.
I'm going to get you a shirt that just says, I heart Locke.
Lock
Is that
it down.
something you might be interested in?
You're dead wrong. But the Pirates tonight going for a 4-game sweep of the White Sox. Starts at 8:10 tonight. And then they start a 3-game series at Washington on Friday with Burnett versus Scherzer.
Who's pitching tonight?
Who is pitching tonight? It would be Garrett Cole.
Ooh, Cole 45.
Please
going
believe.
for another NL leading win, right? He was leading the NL last I seen.
Yeah, and he got a win since then. He has 10 wins, still leading the NL.
Beast.
But right now, this pitching staff, I really don't think it can get any better unless you bring in another number 1 type starter for Jeff Locke. Well, I guess you could bring in a number 3 type starter for Jeff Locke. But you're asking a little much this early in the season. I think you're okay. Just get closer to the trade deadline. And then maybe if Locke has his struggles by then, you do something. If not, you ride it out with him, and he's not going to be pitching in the playoffs anyways.
You could go get that chick Monet Davis from the Little League World Series, and it would be an improvement over Locke.
Please
She's
believe.
got heat. Yeah, see, you even believe it.
No, you're dead wrong. Listen. He's been good over his last 9 starts.
Monet.
He's been pitching fine.
Oh, I'll take her all day. She's got nasty stuff.
How old is she?
14, maybe.
You're dead wrong.
Well, that wraps it up. Thank you, Dash, for coming in. Thanks, fans, for listening. You guys can follow us on Twitter at bet_the_spread. You can follow me on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out the website at thespreadnews.simplesite.com. Like us on Facebook and keep subscribing to that YouTube channel.